Hello and welcome to Intoxicated Masculinity. If it's Wednesday, we have a cocktail video coming at you. Today, again, we're kind of going off book from our traditional tiki. But my rationalization for this is I didn't do this series to kind of be some masterclass on tiki cocktails because I am certainly not qualified to teach that class. This is more just talking about cocktails that I think you like or you will like and that are going to be good if you are at a outdoor event, if you're at a pool or wherever. And this cocktail I think definitely qualifies. This cocktail is from Southern Tea. It's from their book, I'm Just Here for the Drinks, which is a cocktail book that I just got recently, and I've rather liked it quite a lot. It's very clear, kind of nuts and bolts. It's not really, getting in depth into the theory and stuff like that. And I saw this drink and I thought it looked kind of interesting. So traditionally, a lot of tiki cocktails are rum cocktails. This is going to be a Plymouth Gin cocktail. With not a lot of history to go on, it's their cocktail, it's their book. So this doesn't unfortunately go back to the mid 1800s. So now that we know a little bit about the history or lack of history of this cocktail, let's go ahead and put it in a shaker and then put it in our bodies and see if we like it or not. So our first ingredient is just going to be 3. In this case, I'm going to use 4 because why not use 1 extra? Cucumber wedges or slices. Now I double checked the recipe. He does not say to muddle these. It's just going into the shaker and it's going to be shake with the rest of the ingredients. Next we have, I'm going to use Fee Brothers celery bitters. He has another set, but I think bitters are bitters. So he says 1, and of course I'm going to toss in 2 because sure, why not? All right, the next thing we're going to do, excuse me, is half an ounce of a ginger syrup. And I sort of mentioned this last week, not to be afraid of your syrups. That is just a 1-to-1 water to sugar syrup with ginger tossed, little slices of ginger tossed in there. It's real easy to make. Next we're going to toss in our lime juice. Here we're going to toss in 3/4 of an ounce. The interesting thing here, this is a gin cocktail that is using lime, whereas typically with gin cocktails you're going to be using lemon, so we'll have to see how that kind of works out. And the ingredient that I'm most interested in here is Amaro Montenegro. And we're just going to use a half an ounce. So go ahead and toss that in there. So Amaros are typically bitter. Now Amaro Montenegro is not a particularly bitter Amaro. It is sort of a more, I don't know if I would call it sweet exactly, but it is a sweeter than normal Amaro. I think it's going to bring an interesting element to the cocktail. And finally, our Plymouth Gin. Now we have multiple kinds of gin. Plymouth is its own whole little category of gins. I'm not qualified to really talk about those. We might do a gin episode sometime, but not tonight. Anyway, so we're going to use 1.5 ounces of our Plymouth Gin. All right, now that we got our ingredients in the shaker, let's grab some ice, shake it up, and see what we think. Okay, so let's go ahead and toss those into our ice. Give it a good pound and give it a good shake. Frost all over your shaker. Go ahead and open it up. We're going to double strain this into a coupe glass. And just give your fine mesh a little tap to make sure you got everything you're going to get out of it. And then we saved our 4th cucumber slice for our little garnish here. And there you have the summer rain. Not the November rain. That's Axl Rose. Let's see what we think. It's really good. It tastes like a garden party. And it's not a very good tasting note. It's a sort of a multi-layered cocktail. The first thing you get is your sort of herbal stuff. Your gin, and then a little bit of your citrus and your celery and your cucumber and all that's kind of, garden-y stuff. But then beneath that, and I think what makes it a more interesting cocktail is you got your Amaro and your ginger syrup. So your Amaro brings a little bit of bitterness, and your gingers bring just a little bit of spice. Not like, spicy nachos spice, but just like a little bit of spice to it. Yeah, it tastes like a garden party. I feel like everybody should have a little parasol and be in a Jane Austen novel. Yeah, so again, not really traditionally tiki in this case, but very tasty, very complex, just a really interesting drink that I think you're going to like a lot. So I think I would highly recommend this. So I want you to comment below about what cocktails you would have at a garden party. And if you could also comment and tell me what a garden party is, that would be helpful, because I don't know. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a good drink, and have a good day. It's like we're there.